Hey, hello you guys. Well, it's been quite a long time since I haven't made a video, and I'll make one today because a lot of people have been asking me about my trip to Turkey, and I think I need to make one about it. So let's get started. My trip to Turkey was just unbelievable. I loved it so much. I had really good experiences and really bad experiences at the same time. First of all, I'm going to talk about the really good experiences because that way you get to see like where I'm coming from, and then like we get to talk about the bad experiences. Okay, first of all, if you're going to go teach in Turkey, you really need to know where you're going and like really make sure that you know who you're talking to, and you know that the program and everything's correct, like the payment, the work, where you're going to stay, if they're going to provide food, if they're going to get you a place to stay, and just clear everything up before you go there, because I felt like so many problems about that, well I'll talk about later, and make sure you really lay down like what's going to happen and everything, because Turkish people can be a little bit tricky in that kind of sense. But let's just focus up on the positive side first. First, I got Istanbul, and I remember I got there, I took a bus all the way to Bursa, which took me like 2 hours. It wasn't that expensive, it was like 30 liras, and I had to pay for that, which I shouldn't, but I did. I got there and it was really cool. The people were so nice. I remember at the airport, like they were helping me out. I didn't know any Turkish at all, and just nobody knew English either, which was surprising because everywhere I go people usually know English, but nobody knew English, so I was just kind of trying to talk to them. But I flew from Berlin, where I was studying, and I was done with uni, and I wanted to go and teach in Turkey because I didn't know what to do with the summer, so I did that, and nobody knew English, but people seemed to know German, so I was talking to them in German quite a lot. And I got there and I talked to this lady that helped me out to get a bus, and I waited there for a long time actually, because I got there like at 2 in the morning. I had to wait until 5 for the next bus to go to Bursa, which was quite a long time. But it was alright. I got to see some films and everything in my laptop. But I got there, and yeah, I was just surprised because a lot of people were asking me where you from. They were looking at me, and I was just like, oh, I just came from Germany. They're like, oh, me too. You know. So it was quite exciting. Like I talked to a lot of people there, but most of them knew German, so I was talking in German a lot, and which is really cool. It's a good thing that I knew German very well too. Not extremely well, but I know German a little bit, and it was really cool. So a lot of people were helpful and really nice to me, so I really liked that part. And when I got there too, a lot of people were just being really nice to me, so it was kind of cool. But I just felt in a position where I couldn't talk to anyone in English, so I was asking everyone when I got to the bus station in Bursa, and nobody knew English, so I was just kind of like, I want that, you know. And nobody knew German either, because it's just this part, this small town, not a small town, it's a small city, where a lot of people might not be going out that much, I guess, I don't know. So nobody knew English, and I was just kind of like scared at the same time, but it was okay. Like the director of the program picked me up later, and he was really cool, he was nice, and we talked about what I was going to do. We waited for another guy from Egypt, another girl, another guy from Ghana and stuff like that, so we waited for a lot of teachers coming up too. I didn't really get enough sleep because, you know, I got there at 2 in the morning, and then after that we waited till like 2 in the afternoon too, so it was just really a mess, you know. A lot of things were happening at the same time, so it was cool though. I got to really eat a lot of Turkish food and stuff like that, and it was really nice. I remember a couple of first days, a lot of people that I met were really nice and really cool, really helpful too. And my first experience going teaching in Inigul, which is another city, a small little town actually, or something like that, from Bursa, was really nice. I made a video about it too, so you guys will check it out. It's the first experience I've had when I went there, and it was just really nice. I remember the kids were really nice and they were really helpful. Except for my 6th graders, they were really like loud, and sometimes they would listen to me, and if you don't really like stay strong in the beginning of the class, they would just run you over. Like they'd just be like, like talking over you, and it's just a bit messy. Like there were a couple of kids that knew really well, but some didn't know English very well, so it was kind of difficult at first. But going to class at the first time, it was just more like introduction. I talked to them about where I was from. I told them like what I was going to teach them and everything. So it was just summer program, so it wasn't really like, you know, I wasn't expecting them to learn like a lot of English in like a week, because that's how the summer program was, a week, you know. And then I move on to our different programs, and so it was just more like to just talk to them in English, you know, so that way they can practice and more, because they knew a lot of grammar stuff, but they just didn't know how to talk. So then I was just making a lot of activities for them and just talking to them, and trying to do games with them, so it was really fun. You know, out the afternoons we went to play football, and then we went to the lake, and it was just a normal summer camp. Just had a lot of problems with 6th graders, but 4th graders were really nice, and they were cute little kids, and I just had a lot of fun with them. We played games, and they were just, I don't know, it was so nice to have them, and they were just all like, oh, we love you, Teacher Charlie, so it was just really cool to have them. Moving from there, I went to another city called Iznik. This time I was going to teach students, like older kids, like from 16 to like 18, so they were really like almost adults, so I was but not really, so it was kind of weird. And I was kind of scared because I wasn't sure, because I'm not like, you know, extremely old either, so I was afraid that they would kind of be like, oh, you know, not listening to me or something. So I don't know, but I thought it was going to be somewhat exciting for me because I got to talk to them and also, you know, hang out with them a bit, you know. So when I got there, it was just it was close to the Iznik Lake. So if you go on the map of Turkey, you could see the Iznik Lake's right there. It's called Iznik. It was this really small city, like really small. But I really liked it. We stayed at this hotel close to a lake, so I got to walk side the lake all the time, you know, by the shore. So it was really nice, and the students were really great and really nice. And I don't know, I was really scared because usually, you know, teens could be like really loud and really disrespectful and everything, but surprisingly these kids were not. They were just very respectful. They were really listening to me a lot and like try to talk to me, really respectful kids. And I remember we went out, and a lot of times they would just buy me food, and I would be like, no, don't do that, you know, but they would do it, you know, because they were like, oh, it's Turkish hospitality, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so amazing. So I got to like go out a lot, and I got to experience a lot of things that I normally wouldn't have if I wouldn't be with them, because they knew a lot of small things, a lot of places to go to in the city, and it was really nice. I remember we went to this museum. Also, we went on field trips in the afternoon too with the whole students, because this was our two-week summer program. So we actually did a lot of things. You know, this time I was in school the whole day pretty much. I was teaching from 9 to 12, and then I go eat, and after that I came back for the activity, which was just usually playing sports. And sometimes we went to this water park too. It was really cool. We did a lot of stuff. We did this barbecue. We went on a picnic. It was so nice. So a lot of good things happened, and I met really good friends. All my students, I picked the older students from like 16 to 18 years old. I feel more comfortable with them, and then after that, I was with the other guy from Egypt and this other guy from Ghana. So we were 3 guys in this program, and they were just really well. We were disagreeing a lot of things, and all of a sudden the other guy from Egypt wanted to take my class because he felt like we had to switch every day. And I was just like, I don't want to switch because I like my students and I like being with them. So it was just like, oh. But we got in a lot of fight. My students didn't want to be with him. They got used to me, and then their students didn't want to be with me all the time. But we all liked each other. But it was just more like I didn't like that. You know, I like to be with my students, and you know, I had this thing where I was teaching them something, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm going to teach them today. It was just like, what? You know, what are you talking about? And he got me really upset a couple of times. At the end, everybody just kind of liked me, and I was just more with them, being friends with them, because I guess I was the youngest one, because the other guy from Egypt was like 30, and I was 22, and I am 22 actually, and the other guy was 26, I think, the guy from Ghana. So it was a bit weird. I didn't really find anyone around my age. Everybody was older. But there was this one girl that was from Greece. She was around my age too, which was in the other program, but she didn't come to this program. So it was kind of sad. I didn't get to see it after that. I liked this program, especially because I was more with the kids and more with them, and it was just so much better than the other ones, because these were all the kids and they were older, so it was nicer. Turkish hospitality is just one of the things that amazes me a lot, because I've never been to a country where I go to a restaurant and they just say like, oh, you're our guest, you know, it's free, it's on the house, you don't have to pay anything. And I was just like, what? Are you serious? Like, I can't believe you're giving this for free. So it was just really amazing to have that experience where they just like give it to you for free, and I was like, oh my god. But I really liked that idea of their hospitality, which was so amazing. I've never been anywhere with that kind of hospitality, you know. And my students too, they would just always be like really nice to me and buy me things, and I feel kind of bad sometimes, so sometimes I'll just come up with something for their class sometime and just give it to them, because every time we were going out every afternoon, they would just buy me things. When we got out, they're like, oh, we'll buy it for you, just don't worry about it. And I was like, oh my god. It was really cool actually. And so that's a positivity about Turkish people. I think they're just really friendly, really nice, and really good with foreigners. Like, I remember the first time I got to Turkey and we went to that city that I told you about, Inegöl. Nobody spoke English, and it's like the most strict city or town in Turkey, I think, because honestly nobody spoke English. Everybody was just like looking at us the whole time when we went all out, all the teachers, and I was just like, oh my god, they're gonna kill us, because I've never been to an Arab country. Not that like they would do that or anything. I just kind of like, you know, never had that experience in any Arab country where everybody was like that, you know. And it was just a really good experience in Turkey, and we got to this place, we were asking where we can eat and how much there was this small little cakes they were selling, and the guy didn't know anything we were talking about, so he just kind of like went inside and came out with his bag, and he's like, here, it's for you, you know, you take it. And we're like planning to pay, and he's like, no, don't pay. You're foreigners, and you're like visiting Turkey, so don't take anything. He didn't speak in English, but I could tell because he was trying to tell us not to pay, and he was just like, take it, don't, you know, like, you know, going like this, don't. And I was just like, oh my god, this is so cool. And so it was really nice to have them and to really experience this kind of people, this kind of culture. And I'm never going to forget Turkish people because of that. They were just really friendly and really nice for foreigners, and I really like that. And their hospitality is something you will never forget if you ever go to Turkey. So that's totally the positive thing about working in Turkey. I think it's just the people were so nice and everything. Now going to kind of the bad side, because